Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is a very special video because I know a lot of you have been waiting for my flip through of my Hobonichi Weeks 2021. So first, this is a softcover weeks, and this is from the White Line series, and it's the cream one. And it does have the Hobonichi there, and as I mentioned, it is soft cover, so it's super bendy. And if you have this planner for 2022, congratulations, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have mine. And I'm going to be moving into my 2022 soon, so I thought that I would go ahead and have a flip through. Now, a bit of a disclaimer before we start. I hope that you're not pressured to plan like me, even though I do have a lot of videos on how I plan. It doesn't mean that you have to plan the same way. My videos are just for enjoyment and inspiration, and basically you just do you. If you want to put more stickers or less stickers or more pens, more highlights, more colors, then go ahead and do that. So back to what I did for 2021. So this is the front cover. It is completely blank, but in the inside I have my first stickers, and these are for a test to see if it'll fit into my 2022. So I have that, and then we have also the dot stickers from AliExpress. I still have a lot of this, in fact, and I haven't finished them all up, as well as some stickers from the GP Studio. I'm not sure if they're open now, but when they were open before, I grabbed some of their clear dot stickers in like a neutral colorway. Next we have this, and I didn't actually use this page, so this is the yearly overview, and it was still such a struggle for me to use this page. Maybe next year it'll be better. And then we're going into the monthlies. So this is the first month, and I was still using a lot of stickers here, and I haven't fully moved into a minimalist planner look or theme. And the stickers here are mostly from Sienna on Etsy. And then I still have stickers here. In fact, this monthly plan with me, or this design, is similar to the one that I have for my cousin, and I'll talk about those in my planner lineup soon. And here are some more stickers, and these stickers are from Daiso. A lot of this is from Daiso, I think, if not all of them, with the exception of the washi tape. And then in March, it is fully minimal. At the same time, it hadn't been used very well. And then for April, I used a blue ink, and I'm afraid I don't have it right now with me. I believe this is a Sailor ink. Then I used it a little bit for May, and then just a tiny bit for June, and then nothing. And this is a theme that you will see in my weeklies. There is a time in the year, in this year, that I did not use my Hobonichi Weeks as much, only for archiving, because I was in my ring planners. And if you go through my videos, you'll see that I have a setup for both a B6, a pocket rings as well. And in September, I went back to my Hobonichi Weeks, and it was really fun. So for the monthlies starting September, I just used it to mark occasions and appointments, etc. And that is how I used my monthlies. And then here in October, it looks like that I am using it a little bit for tracking tasks. Then November, I used it even more, so I was really into this in November. So it is this week, so it hadn't been filled out. It's also a sort of archive, so that when I flip to this through my monthlies, then I would be able to see right away what things I have been doing for the whole month at a glance. And then at the bottom, I do have a tracker, and I tried this out What I plan to do is, because in my weeklies I do have trackers there, and if I wanted to see the whole month, I didn't have a chance to do it at a glance, so that's why I wanted to archive them here at the bottom. Let's move it up right there. And then the highlights are for weekends, so that it's very clear what's going on. Because if it didn't have the highlight, it's just a continuous 30 days, and I thought that was a little too overwhelming for me and wasn't helpful. And then I set up December, but this was the time where I was thinking I would still be using my white line 2021 for December 2021, but I decided to move into my new planner. So these are some months that hadn't happened yet, and then after this we're going into the weeklies. So the weeklies started with minimal planning already, and the format of this isn't very complicated. It's not complex, it's just a few sections. So these are to-dos, and then this is YouTube, I believe, and then this section is even more YouTube, and then some tasks, notes, as well as some trackers. It did not vary the next week, and I think for a couple of weeks it will stay the same all throughout. And here I'm using a little bit more stickers, and these stickers are from Daiso. Okay, so this is a very special week because this is my husband's birthday week. So it's a little bit more decorative than the other pages. So these stickers are also from Daiso, and if you are going to be using stickers in your planner, just like this one, you can choose thinner paper, as thin as you can get. Washi paper sticker is the best, and I have quite a collection already of those, just in case I wanted to use it in my planners, especially Tomoe River paper planners, because these will not bulk up your planner as much as other stickers. So I believe this is the time where I was getting a little busy and I was thinking of moving, and then I was also using my Hobonichi cousin, and basically my planning was all over the place at this point, and it's only December, but also maybe because there wasn't a lot to plan since I was on leave at this time. Okay, and then also I do have some color themes, and here I'm starting to switch up the color stories that I go for when I am planning, and I'm doodling a little bit as well. And then here it got really colorful because this is the start of the new year. These stickers are from Daiso, and I'm sure you have seen this before. And I have this task list that's inspired by a running task list, but instead of checking off a section for each and every day, I just wrote the initial or first letter of the day over here. And actually this type of task list is not very helpful for me. It's not something that I like to do. It doesn't help me, but you know, I wanted to try it out. And here we have a completely different layout, and sometimes I do like this. So in this layout, the day section runs from this side of the page to this side of the page, actually all the way through. So instead of a general note section, I put the notes within the daily sections, and that's something that you can try as well, but I don't do this often anymore. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe I'll figure out later in life. So here I have a much simpler layout, and this is made using Tombow pens. I think it was my first time to use Tombow pens? I think so. So these are my very first Tombow pens, a green one and a pink one, and Tombows are one of the better investments here that you can make for your planner if you plan like me. And then here I have like a simple but not as simple as this one. It's actually very similar, except that here I didn't use this column. But for this week, in the 4th week of 2021, I did use this column right here for dailies. And this is the same format, so this is very simple format, but at the same time there was so many things that I was doing. I was going through 2 projects and it was a crazy time, but I didn't think that it was gonna get crazier because now I have 3 projects ongoing and it is super crazy. That's why if I don't post on Instagram or YouTube community, that's because there's just so many things going on. And here it's a very similar format with this column being utilized as another extension of the dailies. And here it's the same, but I think that for here I was also planning my YouTube, and it's not just for school. I think things are starting to not be as busy, and the stickers here as well as these ones are from Daiso. So here this is a completely pen spread, and I used the Hobonichi stencils because we found one in our stash. It was my husband's and now it's mine, and this is what it looks like. I just used the Hobonichi pen for this one. I don't have it with me because it's at school. I do have the new ones here. Okay, so these stickers are from 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒔 and these are very affordable. I think they were $1 or $2 or something. And the rest of the stickers are from Sterling Ink. So here, if you notice, what changes in my layouts is either using this column as an extension of the dailies, dividing this section, well, particularly this section, to be an extension of the dailies but in a different category. But here I think this is very rare, a very rare occurrence where I used this section, I divided it, but it wasn't an extension of the dailies. It's not very clear right now because I didn't line it properly, and I think later on I would line things better. Speaking of lines, this one doesn't have any lines at all. And I think this was when I was moving out of my Hobonichi Weeks. I'm starting to move out of my Hobonichi Weeks. The pen that I use for this is my 𝒼𝕉, this one, and it is a thicker nib than all my other pens. That's why it's quite thick. And as I've mentioned, I think this is when I was moving into my B6. But I did find time to archive and have a plan with me in March, or towards the end of March. Okay, so this one is a complicated layout, more than the others. And this is when I started to really play with my layout. So this section, you can potentially make 3 columns that are guided because there are dots on the lines on the planner that makes 3 columns. So I divided the first column as a major task list, and then my schedule, which I divided into 2. So we have AM and PM. So the way that I divided it is I just follow the lines of the grid over here, and then this one is chores, and then we have tasks. So this one is day specific as well. It's an extension of my dailies. And then I have long task list and some trackers at the bottom. I haven't tried this again, I don't think. Maybe I should do that next time. So here I was following the same format, but as I mentioned, I think I mentioned it. This is archive. This is when I forgot to archive or didn't get to archive because things were happening so quickly, so fast. This is another archive, I'm pretty sure. And this one is also simpler, and I was going to use this as a checklist. I'm not very fond of that, I have to say. Okay, this is completely just archive, and the stickers that I used are from Sterling Ink, and I used the blue pen again for some reason. I really like using this ink, although in hindsight I shouldn't be using it quite so often because it's so hard to read what I have written. So here I used the 𝒼𝕉 once again. This is another archive, that's why there's not a lot of things in it, and it's a very simple layout, and I highly recommend this layout if you're starting minimal planning. And you can even use this section for meal planning. and that's going to work out very well. The reason that I haven't or have a lot of empty pages is because the real planning that I was doing was on the B6. Just like this one, I tried to plan. I couldn't make the general task list here of the things that I have accomplished. And then moving into May, I did a very similar layout to what you have seen before. So this is my most used layout. The 2-box column for the left page, 1 column here for tasks, time tasks that are unrelated to school, and then these are my chores and little tasks, and then main weekly tasks here, and then some notes at the bottom. Okay, so this is May, and I really like this terrazzo effect where this one is colored. And I think this is color coded. I'm just not sure what the codes are anymore. I should really put down legends, to be fair. Okay, and so I filmed this because for a while I was on a hiatus on YouTube, and then I filmed this. So this is all pens, and this is when I was thinking of decorating using only pens. And I haven't tried that again in a while. So this is one of those again with very minimal stickers. And then here I decorated it, but I wasn't able to accomplish it, unfortunately. This is another week of those. Once again, I think I'm in my B6 at this time. I had a B6 setup in my YouTube channel, but that was set up after I had already been in my B6 for a long while. And for a minute there, I thought I was never going to go back to this planner. But I did, and in July, I think I started again, and I think this is archive plus PhD notes. Okay, so once again, my most used layout, 2 column, 1 column, 1 column, and then running notes. And then, okay, so definitely I was in a B6 because these stickers are from 𝐏𝐥𝐬𝐬𝐿, and I think this was when I was in my 𝐏𝐥𝐬𝐬 kick. Okay, so I tried to plan and archive this. I used stamps from a discount shop, and these stamps are like horrible. So I just decided not to do anything else on that page. I was a little heartbroken. And some more archives. So for here, instead of having these run all the way down through the weekend, this stops at the weekend so that the weekend is a little bit freer. And I think this was the time when I was trying to do more self-care because I was feeling so overwhelmed with everything. And then I was into my B6 or possibly even my pocket planner at this time. And at the end of August, I think we're gonna not see any more blank pages at this point because it's already August. So here I was getting back into planning in my Hobonichi, and I was referring to my previous layouts that I have done. So I'm starting to get back to it, so it's not as complicated as what I do now. Okay, so I really love this page because this was when I started posting on Instagram again, and I got a lot of likes out of this because, you know, Instagram algorithm, you haven't posted in a while, once you post again they'll promote it. Okay, and then this is when it starts to get really complex and creative, and these are going to be my favorite pages of all time. So I did have the 1 column, 1 box column, 2 box column, 1 column extension of the dailies, and then I have running notes, and this is the same format, although I did add trackers. Was there trackers on the other one? Sorry. No, so that's new. The tracker over there is new. And here I put this down because I tore this page trying to move this tab. These tabs are from Daiso, and I'm going to be using another sheet of that in my 2022 Hobonichi sneakers. Okay, so these pages were written on using my Kakuno this one, and this is a 𝐼𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐿𝐬𝐿. Sorry, no, this one. I'm sorry, it was not Pilot, it was Sailor 135. Okay. And then I have, instead of having 2 columns over here, I moved the 2 columns here so that I can have a vertical tracker of my tasks, so I know what each day is going to be. And then this one is an extension. I do have to say that if you use this so close to here, it cuts off this area, and it was not as seamless to use this daily section, extension of your daily section. Okay, so we have trackers at the top as well, and a dedicated notes area. For some reason, I really like taking notes, long notes in the beginning, or rather in September and August. Okay, so here we have a similar, very similar layout, but as I mentioned, I took out this vertical tracking that I was doing because it was just not flowing as seamless. So this one is so much better. So it's very clear that this area is an extension. Okay, so this is properly lined, and it's very easy to see what I'm doing here because of the lines. That's why I deepened the lines of my planner, so it's not just a suggestion of a line. I'm committed to that section because I have bordered it against all the other sections. That's why I line all my pages. So here it's similar, very similar. And I think that's when the next section, so the next week section, had become a mainstay. Okay, this is the same format. It looks different, but it is completely the same. Oh no, sorry, it's not completely the same. I had moved this one box. It's the same as the others, but I've moved the one box. So this box moved here, so that is that, and this is the 2 boxed column, and my running to-do list over here, notes, trackers, and next. Okay, so I'm definitely sure this is the exact same format, with it looking a little bit different because of the way I decorated it, and once again, properly lined. That is the key to an organized page. Oh, and this is the Squid Games themed. So these are the symbols for the sugar honeycomb game, and some other. If you can see here, that light or faint gray is the symbol of the last game. Okay, and this is when it gets super complex. If you utilize the weeks as much as I do, this is how it's going to look. Like, it's super full, because at this time I was using this planner as well as my pocket together. Sometimes this is archived if I wasn't able to bring this to school or I didn't open it, whereas my pocket planner is just around because I'm not afraid of it being ruined, since it's my pocket planner, not my precious Hobonichi. Okay, and then so this sticker is from the Happy Planner book that I have, and so this section is just my schedule, which is different from this one, my timetable. This one just has more information about what I'm going to do, whereas this one is just what task I did. That is it. And then I have important here. Another important note here, usually I would put this together as one, but here I wanted to just check this or have a dedicated space for this so that I'm not confused. And then I have a tracker, so I'll move the tracker here instead of here, which is a little difficult because this one doesn't have the grid, so you have to make the boxes yourself. So instead of boxes, I made a line. Still wasn't digging that. So I have a to-do list here. This is the next section, and the notes. So I was very happy with the timetable, and I decided to do it again, but this time I only have 2 columns because I found out that I didn't need 3 columns because I wasn't putting in a lot of information, and if I did need to put information, I can always put it here because now this is free. And then for here, it is the same. So I divided it into two, which is a little going against what this planner wants you to do. So I divided it into two. So the way I do that is I just estimate where the division will be. And if it's off, then that's all right. So these are my daily major to-dos. And then I have like minor to-dos that is not date specific. I have my priorities. So this sticker is the one that I absolutely love. It is a washi sticker from Daiso. You can write on it with most pens, I believe. And then we have next, and then I have an expanded habit tracker. I have a small wins area, and I have a small notes area over here. And I absolutely love, this is one of my favorite layouts of everything in this planner. Okay, November. So we are almost done. Okay, this is a much simpler version of this page. So I also really love this page. This is my favorite as well, like my top layouts. And I have a running to do here. I have an expanded note section and a next section, so next week section, and then this is the this week section. And then for tasks or to-do lists, I can now do them, or minor to-do lists. I combine that with my schedule and I divided it per day. Now instead of the schedule being hourly, it's now just divided into 3: morning, afternoon, and evening. So that's why it's simpler. So I just if I do have a set meeting, I would write it down here, put a little sticker on top, and then write down what it's about. So you still get the timed aspect, but you also have a lot of things that you can incorporate into it. And at the bottom here, I have my super expanded tracker. And these are some of my fun things to do if I meet up with friends, which I'm trying to do now. I feel so isolated. Okay, so I loved this so much, I moved it into here. So this is exactly how this planner is supposed to look, not necessarily how you're supposed to use it. So it has 3 columns over right there, and I do have basically this is here, which is pretty good. And I gotta say, this is one of the more functional ones, functional spreads that I've used in this planner. Then I have a to-do section, which, if you were following the guidelines on the planner, was going to end right here. But I was like thinking that is not enough space for me to write anything. So I just expanded it, and since the lines that I make are deep, you can't see that guideline right there. And then I divided this into 3. So we have the tracker, I have a little note for me, this is my this week, my projects, my current projects, and then my next section. And at the very bottom, I have something really sweet, which is my self-care little routine that I separated from my tracker section that I did before. Like right here. So this is like all work, no play. This one is self-care and happiness. This is this week. So this is the end of this flip through, and it is a 30-minute footage, which I was not expecting. So here I have my schedule, my dailies, but my dailies are okay. So my dailies are now expanded into this section. So this one, this little box here is the same width as, or dimensions as this little box here, and that one. Okay, I think this one is a little bit big, actually, come to think of it. Oh no, it's the same thing. So I divided this left section into 2. This one is a dailies, but this one is no longer a dailies. And I regret not deepening the lines of this one because it's now a little confusing to see. As I mentioned earlier, lining is the key to everything that I do in my planner. So this area is all dailies. including this area. And then this one I have reminders, notes, I have a tracker here, I have a this week here. So if I do have notes to write down, I would put them here. And this one is everything that I did for the day that I need to mark down, like I went to the mall, I did an email, and stuff like that. And then end. Okay, so my notes section, unfortunately, I haven't like utilized it. Let me just flip to a good one. I tried. It didn't quite work as well because I was in my pocket planner, which worked magnificently. But then I was thinking I'm going to move out of my pocket planner. How about I try the notes section of the weeks just to see if I would like it, or if I need to keep my pocket planner. And the decision will be in my 2022 planner lineup, which will be posted at the end of this week. Is it really? Sometime at the end of this week. Okay, so this one is just a running to-do list. This is rapid logging, and it didn't do very well. This one is also rapid logging, and I kind of prefer this one than the other one. But I feel like I don't want to have a dedicated space. That's what I was thinking. But then, against my better judgment, I went ahead and did this spread, which is highly structured. And this is inspired by Squid Game. If you haven't seen it, make sure that you check it out on Netflix. It is wonderful. It's one of my favorite things. And then this was what I was talking about, that I didn't want to be structured. Also, I used a little bit of stickers because I was feeling highly inspired, and these had just came in from AliExpress, and they're super cute, and I love it. And these are just some notes, and this is the list that I did for my Hobonichi sneakers setup, which if you haven't seen before, I will make sure to link it down below. And that is the end of our planner, so there's nothing there. Also, if I need to do pen test, I do it in this page. Alright, so that is the end of our Hobonichi Weeks 2021 flip through. I hope that you found inspiration with your daily pages, or just enjoy the show. And I cannot wait to start my 2022 planner and plan in that, as well as my other 2022 planner and my third 2022 planner. That's all Hobonichi Weeks. And for the first time in a very long time, I will be exclusively planning in a Hobonichi Weeks system. And just to give you a little sneaky peek, I don't think I have a picture of all of them together yet, but this are my Hobonichi Weeks system. And make sure that you are subscribed if you'd like to see how I would use them. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Oh, bye!